Shalom. All praises unto you, Lord, to our power Yahweh. Baha Shem Yahweh Shah, Baha Shem Achadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the corners of the earth, wherever you may be. Wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. All right, get into a little, but before I get into that, matter of fact, I'm going to mention now, because I remember last night I did a helpful hints and info. Okay, and I was speaking about these, which I got rid of one of them. Speaking about these, not earthquake, but protests. I can't even call them apps because that's what I wanted to correct. I say they were apps, and I got them from the App Store, but I forget that I don't often download stuff, so they didn't come from the App Store. They were actually, like you see the three. Some people call it the hamburger, or it'd be three dots or three lines. Like so, when you're in something, you click on that and then you add it to home screen, and that's how I got it. All right, so you basically have to look these up. All right, if you're interested, which I got rid of one of them as you see. So if you want to know what the third one was, you have to go back and watch the video from last night, the help links and info video from last night. But yeah, I made a mistake and I said that they were from the App Store. They're not from the App Store though. They're just basically from Google, which is why you see in that bottom right, you'll see the Google logo. And so it's not actually because like with an app or something, you'll download and it takes up more space. Not saying it's going to be a whole lot of space, but everything you download takes up space. And so to keep from having to download everything and take up space, just go and add it to your home screen. That's how these are. So I made a mistake and I said they were from the App Store, and that's my apologies though. I was thinking about the App Store, but yeah, they're not from the App Store. Just basically you just you look it up on Google and you can add them to your home screen. Just a protest tracker. So yeah, I would mention that. All right, but to get into what we want to get into was those various article section. I had something else. I don't know what happened to it, but I do have this one. Because I was actually watching one of Pastor Har's videos, and he had mentioned this, and then as I was listening along, I actually looking through some articles, and it came up. So I decided why not let's put it up, for a lesson. So here it is, and you see how I just clicked on that? That's what I was just talking about there. Just add it to the home screen. And actually may have still gonna find it. But, yeah, I actually might have to still pull it up. Um, hmm. Yeah, I'm a Ash. So yeah, so I guess it didn't work for this, but as you can see, I jumped right into Zero Hedge without actually having to download it on my phone and stuff like that. So I'm gonna pause it so we can just pull up the article and get into it. All right, here it is. Okay, so yeah, this article here says Trump suggests airstrikes on cartels in Mexico, Colombia. Okay with me. All right, so that's the headline. Trump suggests airstrikes on cartels in Mexico, Colombia. Okay with me. All right, so it says President Donald Trump told reporters gathered in the Oval. Oh, let me know what. Let me turn off my headset. I think there's a couple of short, which I didn't even get a chance to watch them yet. I saw two down there videos, so I'm gonna just set my headset aside. Yeah, when we get down there, we can play it. Because if I have my Bluetooth on, it's not gonna you're not gonna be able to hear it. So I'm gonna actually also clear the volumes up. So yeah. So it says President Donald Trump told reporters gathered in the Oval Office on Monday that potential military strikes in Mexico to disrupt the drug trade would be okay with me. Right? Supposedly his own words. He expressed rare openness to direct Pentagon actions inside America's neighbor to the immediate south at a moment of ongoing deadly drone strikes on alleged drug boats off the coast of Venezuela. This is sure to turn U.S.-Mexico relations in a more negative direction, but Trump doesn't seem overly concerned with this as he wraps up the pressure also on Colombia. Right? So he said he'd be willing to do this to prevent drugs from entering the United States, and that's been their main talk. Oh, the drugs, and these are drug boats, and boom, okay. And further, he'd be proud to knock out cocaine factories in Colombia. Okay, so supposedly these are his words. He said he'd be willing to do this to prevent drugs from entering the United States, and further, he'd be proud to knock out cocaine factories in Colombia. So on Colombia, where the president, his family, and top officials have recently been hit with U.S. sanctions, Trump said as follows: Colombia has cocaine factories where they make cocaine. Would I knock out those factories? I would be proud to do it personally. I didn't say I'm going to do it, but I would be. This sounds like something he would say. I didn't say I was. I didn't say I'm going. I didn't say I'm doing it, but I would be proud to do it because we're going to save millions of lives by doing it. This renewed war on drugs rhetoric has been met with immense controversy, including among some U.S. Congress members who demand a congressional vote before war is declared on Venezuela or any other sovereign Latin American country. But the administration has also been utilizing terrorism labels to justify strikes, which they're good at that. Even the Amalekites over there, the so-called Israelis, all right, they're quick to call somebody a terrorist, but well, I mean, what about their own actions? But anyways, which up to now has included targeting over 20 alleged drug boats and killing some 80 people. Trump really focused the bulk of the Monday comments with putting Mexico on notice. The State Department designated 6 Mexican drug cartels, along with Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua and MS-13, as foreign terrorist organizations in February. The president, as of recently, well, he was talking about here in America, when he talked about the enemy within, all right? But that's, slightly another topic. The president indicated on Monday that he will go to Congress to ask for the permission for the strikes and predicted the potential actions would be supported by lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. So let me just put it this way, he said. I am not happy with Mexico. Okay, so watch the full, and this is what I believe. Let me refresh because I believe those videos are there. It should be able to come up. Okay. Okay. Yep. There you go. There's the other one. Yep. I thought so. So yeah. So it says now, Trump, would I launch strikes on Mexico to stop drugs? That's okay with me. Would I do that on the land corridors? I would absolutely. Something. Let's put it.
Also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is... Look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? There's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir.
I don't know who the 15% would be. It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been...
Tons and tons of...
You would say that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no drugs coming into our country by the sea, by, the waterways. And you know why, okay? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land cars? I would absolutely. Look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children. They never recover really from it. When you lose somebody like the way they live. If you lose them, but the way they die is horrible.
Which is crazy for him to say because he doesn't even give them warning. He just drop bombs on the boats, okay? But anyways, where's the other video here? All right, so let's play this one. See how long this is.
Also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is... Look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. if we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir.
I don't know who the
Yep.
15% would be.
Yep.
It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been,
Tons and tons of.
you would say that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no drugs coming into our country by the sea, by, you know, the waterways. And you know why, okay? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land corridors? I would absolutely. Look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children, they never recover really from it. You know, when you lose somebody, like the way they live. If you lose them, but the way they die is horrible.
Is it
So
something
when we knock out a boat and we save 25,000 lives, that's great. Now, do I feel the same way about the corridors that they use? We know every one of them. We have every one of those corridors under major surveillance. We have nobody coming in through our southern border. But we know exactly how they get their things here, how they get the drugs here. Fentanyl, cocaine. Colombia has cocaine factories where they make cocaine. Would I knock out those factories? I would be proud to do it personally. I didn't say I'm doing it, but I would be proud to do it because we're going to save millions of lives by doing it.
Would you actually do it with Mexico's permission, though?
I wouldn't answer that question. I've been speaking to Mexico. They know how I stand. We're losing hundreds of thousands of people to drugs. So now we've stopped the waterways, but we know every route. We know every route. We know the addresses of every drug lord. We know their address. We know their front door. We know everything about every one of them. They're killing our people. That's like a war. Would I do it? I'd be proud to. I'd probably go into Congress and say, hey, and you know what? The Democrats and the Republicans would both agree, unless they're crazy. And they are a little crazy on the Democrat side. But we have lost hundreds of thousands of people a year dead. And that's not talking about family destruction. It's talking about that. And much of it comes through Mexico. So let me just put it this way. I am not happy with Mexico, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Press. Thank you, guys. Thank you for yelling at.
Okay, yeah. Just want to see who you yelled at. So yeah, that's just, you know, that's his own words. And they don't really care about no drugs, man. Okay. And when he says my people, is really if anybody is Edomites, all right? Because nothing is a problem until it starts to directly affect Edomites. As a matter of fact, it makes me want to look something up. But I'm starting to think his favorite word is millions, all right? Millions and billions. He's always talking about millions. Everything is quoted in millions of everything, all right? So, you know, those are his own words. This is what this guy's talking about right now. I'm not saying he's going to go through with it. Just, as a matter of fact, we can get a verse, okay? A scripture. I think we're just doing it, you know, to kill people that are bringing drugs to our country, okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Where is this quoted from? What he just said? I guess it's, you know, in the word from what he just said there. Oh, and that's actually the end of the article. So yeah. So the video said it all right? It says Trump suggests airstrikes on cartels in Mexico, Colombia. And he says it's okay with me. Of course. Such a go-to chapter. Matthew 24. All right. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See? Straightforward. You shall hear wars, no proxy wars, you know, rumors of wars, okay? See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Yes, there you go. But I want to look something up. How did I want to ask this question? What are the statistics, there you go, on Americans who die from drugs, divided by we'll say race. I mean, I guess could say nationality, but maybe race to get it more direct. That's if they pull anything up. We'll see. So, what are the statistics on Americans who die from drugs divided by race? You know what? Let me go back and edit this. Uh, for let's say between 2024 and 2025, just to try to get it more consolidated. Hopefully. Okay, so official finalized statistics for Americans who died from drug overdoses in 2024 and 2025 are not yet available, as data collection and finalization take time. The most recent finalized data is for 2023, with provisional data and projections available for 2024 and 2025. Let me see. Provisional data and projections for 2024 and 2025 show that racial disparities persist and in some cases are widening, with non-Hispanic American Indian or Alaska Native and non-Hispanic Black people experiencing the highest death rates. Provisional 2024 data and 2025 projections. Highest rates as of late 2024, non-Hispanic American Indian or Alaska Native people continue to have the highest age-adjusted overdose death rates, followed by non-Hispanic Black people. Increasing rates. While national overdose death rates generally declined in late 2023 and into early 2024, rates continue to accelerate among American Indian or Alaska Native, Black or African American and Hispanic or Latino populations. Projections for 2025 projections suggest that overdose deaths among Black men aged 31 to 47 years are expected to increase significantly through 2025. Overall trend: the overall national overdose death rate showed a notable decline from its peak in August 2023 through October 2024, with approximately 81,700 deaths projected for the full year of 2024. Finalized 2023 statistics. For context, race and Hispanic origin group, 223 deaths per 100,000 population, age adjusted. American Indian and Alaska Native non-Hispanic, 65. Black non-Hispanic, 48.9. White non-Hispanic, 33.1. Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander non-Hispanic, 26.2. Hispanic or Latino, 22.8. Asian non-Hispanic, 5.1. These ongoing disparities highlight the impact of social determinants of health and the need for targeted harm reduction and treatment resources in the most affected communities. Okay, let me see here. How can I rewrite this question? Oh wait. Well, you know what? Let me just copy it, and I'll go and paste it down here. And get rid of that. And what I'll do is interject right there. So they can still give you the same thing, 33.1 deaths. Let's try this. Let's see what it says. Since he was talking about that, let's see what it says if I actually type in cocaine. So now all of a sudden they ain't got no numbers, huh? 82%. Yeah, Esau is just a bunch of stuff. So they keep trying to play everything on everybody, but we know that so-called white Americans, they're into those heavy drugs, all right. That's why you see more of them die, right? Fentanyl and cocaine. They want to make moonshine in the woods somewhere. All this, those are super heavy drugs, all right. But it's just another question that I had. I mean, we got to the article, just a quick little hit there, various article, but I actually had this question I wanted to ask. So we got a little bit out of it, but not exactly what we thought. And as always, with Esau, his stats might be off because he'll lie about his stats a lot of times. So you know, that's it. That was it. That was it. That was the only article. I had another one. I couldn't. I lost it. I don't know what it was. But we went into that one anyways because I did have that one saved to the side. But we can leave it at that. All right. So Lord, will you edify? Shalom.